Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to this session about smart connected assembly in the light of Industry 4.0 and data innovation. My name is Rickard Hansen. I am responsible for data-driven services in the business area Atlas Copco Industrial Technique. What do you know about Atlas Copco? Many have their view on Atlas Copco and what we do, but maybe not that much about industrial technique and our offerings within manufacturing and assembly. Let's find out and set you in the right context. Atlas Copco Industrial Technique provides assembly solutions to manufacturing plants on all continents and is a well-known brand within the automotive industry worldwide. Actually, every third car is assembled with our products and solutions. We also have a strong presence in other assembly industries such as aerospace, electronics, off-road and energy. And with the presence in the automotive industry, we are very much in the middle of the fourth industrial revolutions. So what does Atlas Copco actually do in a plant? And how do we bring the Industry 4.0 to life? Let's start by looking at the consumer trends. We live in a world of constant change. In the automotive industry, the major trends are very clear. Electrification being one. We will have more and more electric cars. And we're also facing a revolution in terms of sustainability and driving assistance. In the agriculture industry, population will continue to grow, increasing the demand for food, accelerate the transition towards more efficient and autonomous systems. In the aerospace industry, it's difficult times, yes, with the COVID situation, but passenger traffic will come back again, and despite uncertainty, there is still a backlog to be produced. Although these are very different industries with different consumer needs, they all share very similar needs from a manufacturing perspective and are all subject to international standards and regulations. And naturally, environmental impact is critical. We all have the responsibility to contribute to the sustainability. There is a need to design manufacturing for energy efficiency. So what are then the challenges of manufacturing? You might think production should reach a solid state where everything after some time is perfectly optimized. But throughout all manufacturing industries, the challenges they face are very much the same. It requires an increased product mix and a need for more flexible production, which means systems becoming more and more complex. Thus, interaction with systems is more critical than ever before. And as mentioned, sustainability is a key challenge in manufacturing. So how do we break down the areas of value creation in a modern factory? Atlas Copco categorizes this in 6 pillars of value. Increased uptime, ensure that the production is up and running. Reduction in defects, how to avoid errors or rework in the plant, or even worse, how to avoid recalls where things need to come back from the field for repair in the workshop. Flexible new product introduction, improved productivity, easy and smart human interaction, followed by reduction in energy use. You may know how to manufacture a product, or in this case a car. It's a combination of many sub-manufacturing processes which will take place in different buildings. Let's start to build the chassis of a car in the body shop. To build the chassis, we need to join different metal plates in order to create the structure. In order to decrease the weight of a product, we need to replace the metal by alternative materials such as aluminium. For this type of assembly, self-pierce riveting becomes a better alternative versus traditional methods such as spot welding. And collecting data is an important process in order to have continuous improvement. The data will be stored and analyzed, and one example is to determine when it's the right time to do the maintenance. Another very important assembly method being more and more used when working with alternative materials is adhesive bonding. By dispensing adhesive, it is possible to increase the joining strength and introduce additional functions such as sealing at the same time to avoid corrosion. And also here, data is collected, stored and analyzed in order to be used later for saving purposes. And one example in the adhesive process is to save raw material to reduce waste. Another way of assembling parts together is by using the tightening technology, where multiple spindles need to be synchronized in order to align the pieces together. And again, data must be collected, stored and analyzed in order to optimize the process and reduce the defects. Once the chassis is done, it's time to enter the final assembly area to assemble all the components together in order to manufacture the product. The product will enter in the station and it's time to interact with the error-proofing system, giving a clear instruction to the operator of what product to build. In final assembly, still a lot of stations are manual or semi-manual for flexibility purpose. At the same time, the error-proofing system will interact with the controller on the tool, giving all the information required to perform the correct tightening, such as reaching the correct torque. The control is based on an eco platform able to control and manage multiple tools. These tools will be able to report that the tightening has been done. Quality critical tools in addition will be able to report that the tightening is done okay or not okay. And if it's not okay tightening, the car will be red flagged and pulled out in a rework station at the later on the line. Safety critical tools in addition will be able to report even more data, such as the joint behavior. A very clear trend within the manufacturing and assembly plant is the use of battery tools. And with the use of battery tools, we need to have a standard solution to detect where the tool is being used by creating a virtual zone for the work area. This also verifies that the operator is working on the right bolt in the right sequence. Manufacturing is not only about joining different components. It also requires to have a quality control system to document and minimize production errors, operator guidance, such as visual inspections. All data will be collected, stored and analyzed in order to deliver value to the next process or to improve the current process. Many of our customers use the word the smart factory of the future. And when customers talk about the smart factory, they mean flexible automation, which you have seen examples of, inline process control, and one significant area using the latest technology is the visual inspection part. And Atlas Copco recently acquired a company called ISRA, which is a significant step into visual inspection using neural networks and image recognition. Big data and data-driven services is the third area. And the two biggest potential savings for a customer is to avoid any downtime and quality problems. Quality problems often result in a lot of rework in the plant or after the production line. And this is clearly also why we invest heavily in advanced analytics and AI. In fact, studies show high potential. Manufacturing companies discard 98% of all the data they can collect due to the lack of analytics capabilities and how to integrate that into operations. And if we can provide the right application to optimize production and work with accurate preventive maintenance, we should be very successful. Let's have a look on how we approach this. This is why we have developed a concept for continuous improvements and continuous learning. It starts with getting access to production data. It's a step which addresses the need for IT security and trust. Besides taking data seriously, a clear gain for the customer is essential for them to share data. The second step is our analytics and machine learning engine. It uncovers deviations and trends in production data. One learning is that simple rules can be enough for some use cases, but machine learning and AI is very much needed when multiple factors and big data must be considered. Analytics is one thing, but to pinpoint the root cause and come up with a recommendation, you need accessible competence. Our value creation is based by combining the analytics engine with our expertise in joining technology, and not to forget the feedback loop that we can get from production environment, especially when we are on site with our own people. To close the loop and to experience the value, based on the recommendation, a solution has to be implemented. Either the customer do it themselves or any of our technicians around the world can support. And this is a loop. We can also ensure that we continuously learn and adapt. A concept is good, but at the end of the day, we need to solve real problems and create solutions people can use. And without experienced product managers and close relationship with our customer, it would be very difficult to achieve this. We also have an extensive program where we collect all the feedback and the ideas from the customer. We call it Voice of the Customer, which we use regular when we develop and verify that we have the correct solutions. So we realized that the value is not in the data as such. It is in the solution that we can provide based on the insights. But the journey starts with the data, and data is the source of your decision-making powers and opens up an alternative future. There might be a better way. So we decided to take this one step further, to create a product suite with a brand that could spark an interest. We named it Alture, powered by data, optimized by Atlas Copco, which we can by utilizing production data and combined with our expertise in joining technologies. We have now two products under the Alture family, Alture Maintain and Alture Optimize. These products enable customers to improve quality, uptime and first time through production. And one thing notable is that the concept of Alture is delivered through a mobile phone. The reason for this is that we have listened to our customers, and it became very clear that the people solving issues in the plant are not sitting somewhere at a desk in an office. They're rather out in the line fixing problems. We wanted to reach them wherever they are to reduce reaction times. Alture Maintain is, as you can guess, about maintenance. And the customer face challenges with costly unexpected tool failures, missing management of maintenance schedules, very often still in Excel, lack of maintenance tracking, and unknown tool location. We offer a usage-based maintenance, taking the actual usage and the load on the tool and equipment into account to forecast when it's due for maintenance. We provide reminders and we provide an inventory to locate the tools. And the customer values are increased production uptime, reduced cost, and speed and simplicity of the information at hand. Azure Optimize. With this product, we target following customer challenges. They are concerned about hidden quality issues. They are challenged with high throughput. They're struggling to react quickly on quality concerns. And we deliver features such as real-time notifications, instant tightening error trends. We notify the customer of potential process issues, and we provide instant recommendations. And with this, the customer gets increased production uptime, improved product quality, reduced cost, and yet again, speed and simplicity of information at hand. What are then the learnings and takeaways? Number one, ensure you solve real business problems. And to solve real business problems, you need to have experienced and talented product managers that have good knowledge of what is happening on the field, a good knowledge of what is the pains in production, in our case. Second, you need to define your platform. What are your IoT capabilities? What about data quality? What about your competence that you need in order to feed these to feed the platform? And how is the partnership with the customer set up? And how can you establish feedback loop? What is missing? Can your R&D develop it, or do you need to partner up with someone? Excellent design to create the simplicity needed for compliance. If you want people, customers, end users to use your applications, they need to be ease of use. Invest in user experience. To access customer data, you need to give values in return. In order for the customer to share data which they believe are production critical or could be in a way also sensitive, you need to provide something in return. Cloud computing provides a superior platform in terms of time to value, machine learning capabilities, computing power, and remote access. You can solve it with the traditional software model as well, but we believe cloud has a significant edge over on-prem software. However, we still have the edge computing when low latency is required. As you've seen in many of the examples in this presentation, you have tools and equipment that are programmed, that need to report straight away, that are working in high pace production. And clearly you want to have computing power on the edge to ensure a stable production. But with the introduction of 5G, etc., you will have more advantages, more possibilities to connect to the tools and having computing outside the edge. AI machine learning has potential, but don't overlook the simple rules. If you have the possibility to write a simple rule, use the simple rule. Machine learning is for the cases where you don't need to have the simple rules, or where you can't manage with the simple rules. And then ensure know-how in cybersecurity. It's not only about that you need to have the competence in your development, but you also need to have a certain level of competence also in your sales team and the people working with the customer, because the questions need to be answered and you need to be able to convince the customers that you have a secure solution and deal with the questions that pop up in these processes. Last slide. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you found this presentation to be interesting and you get something back to your initiatives regards to Industry 4.0 and data innovation. If you have any more questions or want to contact me on this topic, please do so. You find the email address on the slide. Thanks a lot again, and bye.